Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they're keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I want to go into this lesson. This was off of some things I was meditating on, or something I was actually meditating on earlier today. And while I was at work, and I went on ChatGPT and was, trying to bring out some edification, some not understanding, but edification to kind of bring out some more light on the topic. But the topic is going into how Jacob's trouble, Revelations 13 and 16, all this is going to come upon the world, and it's going to try everybody. It's going to try everybody's character, and it's going to show through collapse and through the extremities of how extreme society is going to become, because of Babylon the Great finna be destroyed and prophecy must be fulfilled. It's finna show just who everybody's finna show who they are, and throughout the scriptures it tells you about that, in various scriptures. And I'm gonna just get a couple of the scriptures, a couple of the precepts, because this is why we as in of the hopeful elect have been being built up, not just in this world physically, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but mainly spiritually. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah has been preparing us for this. So I'm gonna get a couple scriptures. I got the pictures for ChatGPT, two screenshots really of the conversation I was having with it, just some information, and Lord will is edifying. So this is Revelation 3 and 9. Salaki. Revelation chapter 3 and 9. It says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee." And this is what Yahweh Shah is going to do. Make those who are trying to be us bow down and worship before us, at our feet, because they stole our identity and are and trying to portray that they are us, but we're the real Israelites. Now, verse 10, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." And I'm reading the AMP. It says, "Because you have kept the word of my endurance, my command to persevere, I will keep you safe from the hour of trial, that hour which is about to come on the whole inhabited world, to test those who live on the earth." And when that time of testing truly comes, everybody is going to be, it's going to show or expose who everybody really is, and who believes in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, and who truly don't. Who truly believes and who truly don't. And a part of that time, since I'm in Revelation, let me go and get this real quick. This is Revelation 13 and 16. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name," which we know is the micro CHIP, that they talking about IMPLANTING into people, So, which not even just talking about it, that people are already getting it, and it's already being done in other countries. I think Sweden had over 1,000 people. I think Sweden had over 1,000 people that already got it. And then you got over here in Babylon the Great people getting it. Just look up, and of course, every different cities already have different stores and different businesses and different places already, and it's already implemented. But look up Amazon. I know down here in Jackson, Mississippi, we have a Whole Foods, and they have pay with your palm. You know, that system is already in place. So, and it's gonna be eventually. It's gonna be everywhere. Now I'm gonna get this in Jeremiah chapter 30:7. Well, I'm gonna start at 6. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." And I'm gonna get an extra one. I'm gonna get another one, because Daniel is actually a part of what I was what I had spoken of in that Chat GPT conversation. But this is Daniel chapter 1. I'm gonna read this one in KJV as well. It says, "And at that time," look at that, people are losing it. We just read about it. "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." So as you can see, it's various scriptures that talk about a time of trouble and judgment and societal collapse and changes in society before it fully collapses. That's going to shake up the people. It's going to really disrupt what people know as normal or normality, which nothing about this life is normal, because just being honest, what normal life is everything going how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua created it to go. That's normal. Anything outside of that is not normal. We just been under this well, I ain't gonna say we, but at one point we were, under this I wouldn't say interpretation, but this illusion, for lack of better terms, that how society goes and how we live in our life, that's just normal. That's how it's supposed to be. Nothing about this is normal. Life is supposed to go how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua created it to go. That's what's normal. So the Lord is about to create the world that he had envisioned, And what I mean is, he's about to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth in righteousness. And it's going to be in a way that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua wanted it to be from the very beginning, But before that, a time of great trouble and tribulation like no other has to come upon the earth to destroy all the rest of the kingdoms, that's opposing the will of the Lord. And during that destruction and that societal collapse, everybody's going to be exposed to it's going to expose who everybody really is. Now, I want to get this in Sirach chapter 2, just to get straight to the point. Well, no, I'm going to start at 1 and I'm reading down to 5. "Faithfulness," this is in the GNT, "faithfulness to the Most High, my child. If you are going to serve the Lord, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test." And see, just like the Lord said, he said it's going to come upon the whole world to try them or to test them that's on the whole earth. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua said, "I'm going to be with you." He said, "I'm going to keep you safe," meaning he going to keep you in your right state of mind. That he's going to preserve your mindset, because when things collapse, it's going to show who everybody really is. Everybody's going to go straight into survival mode. And let me see something. Let's see. Type that in real quick. I said, what is survival mode? It says survival mode refers to a state where a person's body and mind react to stress or danger, often leading to feelings of being constantly on alert and unable to relax. It can be triggered by trauma, chronic stress, or overwhelming life situations causing mental and physical exhaustion. Survival mode refers to a prolonged state of stress where the body's natural fight or flight response is activated continuously, even in the absence of immediate danger. This is going to be the reality for the mass majority of people who's not protected by Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. It says this state can lead to both mental and physical exhaustion, affecting overall well-being. Then it said, going into symptoms. So I'm gonna just read the symptoms. It says ongoing stress, difficulty making decisions, poor short-term memory, mood swings, trouble sleeping, lack of motivation, poor eating habits. Now it says causes of survival mode. It says trauma, chronic stress, or burnout. So just a little synopsis of it, but people are finna be in that 24/7. So we, us of the hopeful elect, are constantly, going through different trials and being tested by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Like he said, prepare thy soul for temptation in the KJV. It said, be prepared for when you will be put to the test, because the Lord is building us up and building our character up for what's to come, but not only for what's to come, for us to reach our full potential. Because a lot of Israelites will never, I ain't gonna say never, a lot of Israelites are not going to reach the potential that they could have been on this side. They're not going to reach where they could have been had they took heed to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's ways, his laws, statutes, and commandments. And us not being transformed by the renewing of our minds. I can get that real quick. This is Romans 2. It's like it. Romans 12, 1 and 2. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of the Most High in the AMP, to present your bodies, dedicating all of yourselves set apart as a living sacrifice, holy and well-pleasing to the Most High, which is your rational, logical, intelligent act of worship. See, we supposed to do this. We're supposed to make ourselves a living sacrifice, holy and well-pleasing to the Most High. But our people don't know what pleases the Lord. They don't understand what makes him truly pleased. Verse 2. And do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs. And see, the mass majority of our people have not let that go. The superficial value and customs of this world. Just like people are going to celebrate Christmas in the next 2 days. They have not let go of the superficial values of this world. Or 3 days, whenever it is. But be transformed. That's it. It's a metamorphosis that leads to outward permanent change. Okay, permanent change. Be ye transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes. Our people have not done this. The mass majority of our people have not done this. The elect ultimately, but we are the hopefully elect. This is the process that we're going through day by day, being progressively changed by changing the way we think, and our mindset is going from the ways of this world to the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is affecting our character in a positive way. But the rest of our people, their character is not changing. They're not being spiritual. They're not growing spiritually. It says, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of the Most High is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his purpose, in his plan and purpose for you. Now I'm going to get another precept. This is Matthew chapter 25, starting at verse 1 in the AMP. Then the kingdom of heaven would be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. In this footnote, it says, in a procession, the bridegroom and his friends brought the bride from her father's house to his house where the wedding feast was prepared. Now it says 5 of them were foolish, thoughtless, silly, and careless, just like those who were not taking heed to the wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, 2/3 of our people. And 5 were wise, farsighted, practical, and sensible. They were visionaries. This represent the elect. So the 5 foolish represents 2/3 of our people. The 5 wise represents the elect, the hope, us are the hopeful elect. For when the foolish took their lamps, they did not take any extra oil with them. Right. And that oil represents the word, Everybody believes in God. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but the mass majority of our people believe in God, but they don't have an understanding of what really pleases him, or how to serve him. They're not spiritual. So they didn't take the oil with them. They don't have the understanding, the doctrine that's needed to see, Let me get that real quick. I know I'm getting a lot of precepts. I'm gonna get back to the Sirach, and then I'm gonna pull up the chat with pull up the conversation with Chat GPT. This is Psalms 119, F105. Thy word is a light unto my feet, and thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. And see, our people, they don't have the true understanding of how to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So they don't know the right way to go, And there it's going to show in the times of great economic or societal collapse. Now again, verse 3 in the AMP. For when the foolish took their lamps, they did not take any extra oil with them, but the wise took flasks of oil along with their lamps. Now while the bridegroom was delayed, they all began to nod off and then fall asleep, and they fell asleep. But at midnight there was a shout, "Look, the bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him." Then all those virgins got up and put their own lamps in order, trimmed the wicks and added oil and lit them. But the foolish virgin said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, because our lamps are gone out." And this represents them wanting to learn the truth when it's too late. Now it's time to be ready, because the time for everything to take place is now. So now they want to get an understanding of what needs to be done. This is what it's symbolically. This is what Yahushua is symbolically talking about. But the wise replied, "No, otherwise there will not be enough for us and for you too. Go instead to the dealers and buy oil for yourselves." So go back to all the people you was learning from, or whatever you were. Like I said, the superficial and the customs of this world that you was following after. That's go back to what you was doing. And at that time, the Lord is going to shut the mouth of the prophets anyway. It's going to be a famine of the word. I think it's Amos chapter 5 or chapter 8, I believe. Amos chapter 8, where it's going to be a famine of the word, And it ain't going to be no more men teaching. We're not going to be on the street corners teaching. And you're not going to see any videos being published or uploaded. You're not going to be able to find the truth, The verse 10, but while they were going away to buy oil, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut and locked. Later the others came and said, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." But he replied, "I assure you and most solemnly say unto you, I do not know you. We have no relationship." See? I didn't even know that was there. It said we had no relationship. Yahweh shines from to tell a lot of Israelites that we don't have a relationship, because our people, they're not serving the Lord, and they don't know how to please him. Any woman that doesn't know how to please a man, he's not going to deal with you. And before he even gets with you, he's going to a man with vision, and ultimately us are this hopeful elect. We understand what to look for in women. We for the most part, we understand what to look for in women. So just imagine you as a man, which we're going to get, talk about Isaiah 4:1 too, because it kind of go into that too. But just imagine you as a man, you go out to eat or something, like you in a restaurant, and you at the you at a table by yourself, or you at a table, probably sitting at the bar, eating food or whatever. You ate your food and a bill come out. Now another woman was sitting over by you, and y'all was chopping up, having a conversation or whatever, this, that, and the third. And then she get done eating, and her ticket come out, and she looking at you to pay the bill for her ticket. and you like, I don't have nothing. You know, I'm not gonna pay your bill. We don't have no relationship. I don't have no reason why I would want to do anything for you. There's no reason. We were just having dialogue, but you haven't done anything to build a relationship with me. You know, we were just having dialogue. You didn't, you know, you haven't catered to me. You haven't done anything for me. I don't know you, you know. That's essentially how it's going to be for Yahweh Shai and the 2/3 of our people. Our people claim that they believe in God and claim that they love God, this, that, and the third, but you don't serve him. You're not doing anything to please him, to show that you truly care about what the Lord cares about, you know? So when the time comes where you are in need, he's going to tell you, we don't have no relationship. But he's not going to say it physically. And I say, you, but he's going to tell him, we don't have any relationship, you know? But he's not going to say it physically. He's going to show it by the actions, by the judgments that's being passed. Verse 13, therefore be on alert and be prepared and ready, for you do not know the day nor the hour when the Son of Man will come. For it is just like a man who is, okay, I don't want to keep going to another parable. But yeah, so let me go back to the GNT. This is Sirach 2:1 in the GNT again. Faithfulness to the Most High, my child. If you are going to serve the Lord, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test. See, be sincere and determined. Keep calm when trouble comes. Stay with the Lord. Never abandon him, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. Accept whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation. Be patient. Gold is tested by fire, and human character is tested in the furnace of humiliation. And then I'm gonna get that same verse in the KJV. As you can see, human character is tested. Now, verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So acceptable men or human character is tried in the furnace of adversity. And we've been going through various different trials in our individual walks and things that we've been dealing with in this world. And constantly the Lord is refining us and making us, bringing us up. So during that time of collapse and things going like the scriptures say, like a time like never before, this is why Isaiah 13:12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. That man is a man of the Lord. He's going to be both rare and extremely, like I said, it said rarer than gold. It's going to be hard to find for people in general, but especially for women, because women going to be the main ones looking. It's going to be extremely hard for you to find a man of the Lord. That means the Lord is going to have to pair you up. And I'm not speaking to sisters. I'm just saying in general. But for like 2/3 of our people, they're not going to be able to find a man of the Lord during that time and cleave unto him, But of course, us are the hopeful elect, and especially you women, true believers, the Lord is going to prepare you. He's preparing you for your husband, or preparing you for the man he's going to prepare you to be your husband, be as your husband. So you have nothing to worry about. But the rest of these women, you're not going to be finding a man of the Lord. They're not going to be able to just go to a city or call up somebody and ask where your location is. Speaking to the brothers, ask where your location is, and they just come and try to get with you and cleave unto you. It's not going to be like that, That's why the Lord said it's going to make them more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. I want to get Isaiah. I'm going to get Isaiah 4, but I want to get Isaiah chapter 3, starting at 25. Well, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna start at 13. Read 13 and 14. In Isaiah 3 and 13, the Lord standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancient of his people and the princes thereof. But ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. Right, so this is going into the leadership of our nation. Whether it be these pastors, all these men who were supposed to be leading the congregation and the flock, but you've been leading them astray and eating off of their ignorance. The Lord he's gonna deal with them, but it's gonna trickle on down to the rest of our people too. Now this is Isaiah 3 verse skipping down to 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament. Going into the leadership again. And she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. This is going into, like I said, in Jerusalem. So this is going into our people. But we read Jacob's trouble already. It's going to be terrible. A time like never before. It's extremely horrible. In Isaiah 4 and 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Which I also want to touch on that name. But before I go any further, I'm going to pull up the conversation with Chat GPT, which is just 2 screenshots. Let's start with this one. So I was, I can't remember exactly what I typed in, but what I was basically the point I was trying to get out of it was how, I typed in Isaiah 13 and 12 and Isaiah 4 and 1, and going into the type of men basically built for those times, and whose character is basically, again, built for those times. So this is, it says Isaiah is not teaching rare men are superior. Isaiah is revealing that when society collapses, character becomes currency, and only those already formed can bear that weight without corruption. And that made me think about, again, Sirach chapter 2, which we got, Sirach chapter 2, where it said, gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And it said human character in the furnace of humiliation in a GNT. So even going into right now, that just goes to show how important it is to be getting built up in the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah, and what the Lord actually values, what he cares about. Because a lot of people are going to get a rude awakening when the society actually collapses. All this social media persona people done acquired, and people haven't been working on themselves. They haven't been developing a relationship with Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah. They're finna see, and really the whole world is finna see who you truly are. Just like the Lord said when that Revelations 13 and 6, well, not 13, 3 and 9 and 10. Well, verse 10, Revelations 3 and 10 said that the hour of temptation is going to come upon the whole world to try everybody. So it's going to expose who everybody truly is. And only those who have built a relationship with Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah will be kept in that stable mindset, which is why I said only those already formed, which form character, through faith. It's many different factors that go into it. But the scriptures always, Yahweh Shah was talking about us building our character. So it says only those already formed can bear their weight without corruption. So going into the name in Daniel, because it used Daniel as an example. I forgot what else I had said that even brought it up about Daniel. But it says Daniel never tried to be understood by everyone. He focused on being found faithful by Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah. That's why heaven knew his name clearly. Earth learned it gradually. history remembered it permanently. And when it said it like that, I was like, damn, that was well said. So it said heaven knew his name clearly. I'm gonna come back to that Isaiah 4:1. I think it's Daniel chapter 9. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. This is Daniel chapter 9. I'm gonna start at verse 29. Let me see. Okay, yeah, 29. Like it, Daniel chapter 9, starting at verse 21. Yeah, whilst I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in a vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. And he informed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding. At the beginning of thy supplications, the commandment came forth, and I am come to show thee, for thou art greatly beloved. Therefore, understand the matter and consider the vision. So I'm going to give verse 23 in a couple different translations. So it's in the CSB, it says, at the beginning of your petitions, an answer went out, and I have come to give it, for you are treasured by the Most High. So consider the message and to understand the vision. Now keep in mind, I'm going to pull Isaiah 4:1 in another book, app. This is something I was thinking about too. Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And that name isn't just because it's, you're popular in this society, because we understand that we're not going to be popular in this society. Our name is not going to hold magnificent weight in this society, but rather that name is also going to be a tie. Of course, that links you. That's going to be through marriage. It's going, a woman can only take your name through marriage, and proper marriage, according to the Bible, is through sex. But it's not just because she wants your name. It's because of that stability, that protection that comes with that Yahweh Shem Abishai is going to bestow upon you, and that stability in mind. That's really what it's going to, the stability in your mind. Just like Yahweh Shai say, he gonna keep thee in an hour of temptation. He gonna keep you in that stable mindset while everybody else is gonna panic and collapse. Like we read in Jeremiah chapter 30, it said they gonna have their hands on their loins, meaning men they're not gonna be in their right mind. These men are gonna be just like women. And if the men are like women, the actual women are going to be extremely gone. When I say men going to be like women, I mean in mindset. They're not going to be masculine. Well, let me say it the right way. They're not going to be mentally capable of handling what's happening on the earth. Because anytime a crisis or immediate danger happens, a woman looks for a man for protection. Well, the men are not going to be able to protect the women because they're not going to even be able to protect themselves. So if men won't be able to protect themselves, the women are going to be extremely gone. So I was just going into that name because it made me think like, Yahweh Shem Abishai, he's going to be with his men, Give me 1 second. Salakia. All right. So, let me see what I was gonna get. Let me go back. This is the NIV. As soon as you began to pray, a word went out, which I have come to tell you, for you are highly esteemed. Therefore, consider the word and understand the vision. In the NLT, it says, and now I'm here to tell you what it was. Well, I'm going to start at the top. It says, the moment you began praying, a command was given. And now I am here to tell you what it was. For you are very precious to the Most High. Listen carefully so that you can understand the meaning of your vision. See, in ET, at the beginning of your request, a message went out. And I am come to convey it to you. For you are of great value in the Most High's sight. Therefore, consider the message and understand the vision. The BBE, at the first word of your prayer, a word went out, and I have come to give you knowledge, for you are a man dearly loved. So give thought to the word and let the vision be clear. And in ESV, it says you are greatly loved. So as you can see, all of it is saying the same thing. Now I'm gonna read the YLT. That'll be the last one I read. It says, at the commencement of thy supplications have the word come forth, and I am come to declare it. For thou art greatly desired, and understand thou concerning the matter, and consider concerning the appearance. So Daniel was greatly esteemed, highly loved by Yahweh by Hashem Abishai. You know, the Lord had great respect for Daniel, you know, because of his character and how he was. So that's what I was talking about in ChatGPT. So again, it says Daniel never tried to be understood by everyone. He focused on being found faithful by Yahweh by Shem Abishai. That's why heaven knew his name clearly. See, it says earth learned it gradually. You know, going into the story of Daniel, people learn about Daniel over time. He didn't come out trying to be popular and be known, you know, but over time people learned who Daniel was and how wise he was and how Yahweh Shem Abishai was with him. I guess I get that real quick too. Might be in chapter 1. Yeah. Well, let me see. Let's see. Right. Now, this is Daniel's 1, starting at verse 19, AMP. The king spoke with them, and among them all, not one was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they were selected and assigned to stand before the king and enter his personal service in every wise manner of wisdom and understanding about which the king consulted them. He found them 10 times better than all the learned magicians and enchanters, the magi or astrologers, magicians in his whole realm. This happened over a matter of time. This didn't happen immediately on day one. You know, this happened over the course of time. So even when it says, again, earth learned it gradually, that's what happened. But then it said history remembered it permanently because Daniel was found faithful, you know, and how his character was, how he was, how he lived. Now it says final synopsis. You are correct in your earlier insight, because I had said this. I said men like this rarely carry powerful names in modern society before collapse, because this modern society is not focused on people who serve Yahweh by Shem Abishai. This world and this society wasn't built on serving Yahweh by Shem Abishai. So you're not going to have a status or reputation, you know. And if you do, it's going to be people in higher position opposing you, you know. Because it's not to say that we are going unnoticed. They very well know about who we are and what we do. But it doesn't mean or make you, like I said, you don't carry powerful names. You're not popularized. You know, people are not respecting you because of what you do or what you believe. Not now. That'll come in the kingdom. So it says their names carry weight in heaven immediately, on earth eventually, in history after testing. And I can't scroll down, so it's just a screenshot. So just like through the process of Daniel, it says in heaven immediately. Because just like with Daniel, your names are written in heaven too. And I'm going to get that scripture. It says on earth eventually. Because during the time of Jacob's trouble and collapse, people are going to see who are the chosen of Yahweh Shema Washah. And then it says in history after testing. And that's well after it, for the elect. So let me get a couple more precepts, because I had a couple of them pop in my mind as I said that. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. See? Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So the Lord is letting you know, like, the time to come is upon you. But I got you, I'm gonna deliver you. But like he said in verse 73, the elect are tried as gold in the fire, but they're going to be found faithful, just like Daniel was. And let me get that verse and let's see. Get that verse. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 73 in the GNT. This will be the time of testing for my chosen people, and they will prove to be as pure as refined gold. See? And then it references Zechariah 13 and 9, where it go talk about the 1/3 shall be tried as gold in the fire, And then it says 1 Peter 1 and 7. It says, but listen to what the Lord says. My chosen people, the time of terrible suffering is near, but I will rescue you. Do not be afraid or have any doubts. I am your God, and I will lead you. So Yahweh Shema Shah is reaffirming us, just like Yahweh Shah did in Revelation 3 when he said he's going to keep us from the hour of temptation, which is going to try the whole world. Yahweh Shema Shah is not doing this for everybody. It's only for the elect. That's why wisdom and knowledge, Isaiah 33 and 6, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time and strength of salvation. So even when Isaiah 4 and 1, it goes into only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. These men that the women are going to flock to, these men that they're going to flock to are men whom Yahweh by Shema Shah is with, who's protected. And it's going to be known to everybody that the Lord is with you, In whatever shape, form, or fashion the Lord does it, it's going to be known that he's with you, So it's not that you was a big name in this society or anything, but Yahweh Shema Shah is protecting you. And these people, they're going to know the difference. That power shift, that power is going to switch. I think I got that in one of these screenshots. Well, yeah, I just get this again. It says, Isaiah is not teaching rare men are superior. Isaiah is revealing that when society collapses, character becomes currency. See? Character becomes currency. And people are going to, especially women, are going to go straight into survival mode. So they're going to, and a part of survival mode for a woman is looking for the best, that, what is it, hypergamy. They're already hypergamous by nature, but they're going to be extremely reliant on that hypergamous nature. In that time, character becomes currency. So not only but it ain't going to just be because of character. It's going to be because Yahweh by Shema is with you, because he's been building up your character, and ultimately you're chosen, But it says, and only those already formed can bear that weight without corruption. So I know I said some other scriptures I was going to get, but I have been rambling and I done forgot it. So I might just end it right there. Cause I done forgot what the other scriptures I said I was going to get. But Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson. Like I said, it's just something I was contemplating on and thinking about earlier today. And I got other topics that I, could have tied into it, but I don't want to make it too long. So Lord will is edifying. So on that note, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. And until next time, shalom.